Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I was actually supposed to upload a video on yesterday. However, I was a little under the weather, so you guys get one today. So by the title, you guys already know this video is about how I got fired from a company that I was at for almost 4 years. So let's just go back real quick. And number one, let's start with facts. This company I was working for is the longest company I had ever worked for. Let's be clear, I used to be a stripper. Fuck, there's no longevity there. Like, you go to this club, you go to that club, you go to that club. Whoever's making the most money, like whoever has the biggest clientele, you know what I mean? So it's not really stability there, you know what I mean? So even after that, transitioning to like the real workforce, it just wasn't for me. I would get bored with jobs. So anyways, this particular job I loved, I liked, and then I grew to love. Really great company, you know, working in sales and everything. And I mean, when I tell you I advanced really quickly, had different tiers. I went from a tier 1 to a tier 5 in like, let's see, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. 6 months. It took me 6 months to go from a tier 1 to a tier 5 agent. So that means I was pretty, you know, good at my job, right? Right. So I thought, Nevertheless, time goes by. The company gets bought out by another company. So now we have all these different rules and regulations and shit you can and cannot do or whatever. When before, you know, you just came in and you'd be scheduled for 8 hours, but if you made your money in 4, goddamn it, you only worked 4, and you chucked the deuces for the other 4. Like you really wasn't worried about an hourly check because you made your money in commission. Nevertheless, so yeah, so time goes on. And last year, 2019, I started to get very fed up with the job, like very fed up. So the point where I knew that March of this year, 2020, or is what I said to myself, that I was going to be quitting. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not staying here. Like, I'm going to look for something else, or I'll be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I can't do this anymore. Like, I just cannot do it. So I was going into something else. So I was going to stay until March 12th or something like that. My water's leaking, sorry. This is bothering me. But I was going to stay until March to hit my actual 4 years. So that didn't really work, right? So November comes around, and mind you, I'm already looking into going to business for myself, like full-time or just working for a different company. But trying to keep the same schedule. I had a really gravy schedule. I mean, I had seniority. But my thing was, all last year, 2019, from January up until November, I was literally doing my job, a team lead's job, and a supervisor's job. Like, for the longest, I'm being trained to be a team lead, but never getting a position. Filling out the application, trying to go up for a promotion to get it. Going to interviews or whatever, and then like I remember the first interview, I'm like, okay, maybe I just wasn't ready or whatever, you know, try to talk to them like, hey, what can I do better? Everybody was basically telling me the same thing. And one of the things I hated about the company once we got bought out was now all of a sudden people are giving you surface. Like the managers who used to give you details about what the hell was going on, I mean, they would have their manager meetings on Wednesdays or whatever. So like these managers would come back and give you details about what's going on. But it was like they started being real surface. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. Then you hear about supervisors actually quitting. And I don't mean getting fired, I mean quitting. So I was like, well, damn, if this particular supervisor who's been here since the company started, damn near, I'm over exaggerating, but if they quit in like something going on. So it started to be to where it was a bunch of talk or whatever, to where people really were just like, you know, I gotta find somewhere else to go. It was people coming into training. They would sit, like, this is the thing. So I was an agent. I was a sales agent. So I would be on calls all day, nonstop. Like, they was coming back to back. And I'm talking, not even just on a Monday. On a Tuesday, a Wednesday, Thursday, or a Friday, it could be super fucking busy. So they would have their interviewers, they would come and do a shadow. Well, I was the person that they would shadow. It wasn't just me, but I'm just speaking about myself. They had other people that were ambassadors who could come and, the interviewers would come and sit by. But nevertheless, so they picked me to be one of those people. So not only am I a sales agent, but I'm also an ambassador. Okay, cool. No pay increase. Whatever, because when you love what you do it because you love it, not for the money. So then I go into training. Now y'all are pulling me off the phone to train some agents to help in what they call academy, which is where the new hires take phone calls. Now they're taking live calls or whatever. So now y'all got me doing that. Okay, cool. Again, no pay raise. But I'm going up for this team lead position and I'm getting shot down. Like, I know more than some of y'all supervisors at this point. Like, you have supervisors that would come to me and ask me questions or whatever. Like, I had this one supervisor wanted me on her team like so bad, got me on her team, and then she would have me train like her new people. So it's not like I couldn't do the job. Like, my thing was like, well, dang, you know what I'm saying? So I started to put it in my head that, okay, maybe this is not for me. Like, maybe this is not my ending. Maybe this is not where I'm supposed to be. And if it's not where I'm supposed to be, okay, cool, fine, and dandy. Like, I'm going to accept that and keep it moving, chunk the deuces or whatever. So I'm working, and I'm literally just working. It had gotten to the point where I literally would just come to work, do my job, go home. Like, don't ask me no questions. Like, at this point, nobody can ask me a question about this job because that's not what I get paid for. Like, that's to the point it had gotten. So let's fast forward to October. So October comes around. I get this write-up basically telling me I'm getting demoted because I didn't hit sales goals. And I'm just like, for what months? Because I never even knew I had a whole sales goal to hit. So I'm a little confused as to what sales goal I'm not hitting. So they gave me the months and I'm like, well, those particular months I was on a pilot. So my numbers shouldn't even be counted. They wanted to argue with me about it. I was not about to argue with them, but I also was not about to sign that paper because me signing that paper means that I agree to this demotion and maybe I don't agree. So then they tell me, well, it doesn't matter if you sign it or not, like it's still effective, and they backdated it. So that means that my check I'm about to get where I thought I was going to be getting X, Y, and Z, it's already in demotion. So that really pissed me off. A week later, after this conversation, I got into it with an agent, which was a male agent. So definitely felt some type of way. I'm not easily intimidated at all, but this dude was like in my face. Like, he was really like, something was wrong with him here. That's what I truly believe. So me being the person I am, I text my wife, tell my wife what's going on. My wife was like, I dog walk his ass, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? She going in or whatever. I go to my supervisor at the time and asking my supervisor, how do I file a complaint? And he's telling me like, are you sure you want to file a complaint? I'm like, yeah. He was like, well, were you threatened? I'm like, yeah. So now we sit here looking at each other for a whole 2 minutes. We won't sit here and look at each other for 2 minutes because that's a long ass time when you just sitting there staring at somebody. So I walk away. I figure out how I need to file a complaint. I file a complaint. He sees the complaint because it was filed via email. He comes to me. He's like, well, is there anything we could do to not get HR involved? No, sir, it's too late. I asked you prior to. The hell? All right. Fast forward. So then after this incident or whatever, they come back to me with the paperwork or whatever in reference to the demotion. I'm like, I'm not finna sign it. I don't agree with it. Y'all need to go talk to my old supervisor, who team I was on during this time, and she can vouch for it. I done went to her myself and talked to her, was asking her about it, and she was telling me like, yeah, no, your number shouldn't count. I'll talk to them. Okay, cool. That was my favorite supervisor. I love her. She my favorite supervisor. I don't give a fuck where I work at. That's my supervisor. And so, yeah, so that happens or whatever. And now we in November. So November 13th, one of the sales supervisors who I thought we were cool, she comes to me and was like, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing. Like, literally nothing. I had literally just finished a call. I was sending after call. Like, wrap up, whatever you want to call it. Like, I ain't doing nothing. No, I'm in the wrong code. She was like, come on, we finna go to training. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of excited because I'm like, well, dang, she's pulling me out to go to training. So maybe I'm about to get, you know what I'm saying, that opportunity where all I wanted to do was help. Like, that was truly my passion. I just wanted to help people, help them grow, be better sales agents, make the money that I was making, you know, all that kind of stuff. Baby, when I tell you, she takes me to HR, and then it's another sales supervisor and the HR lady sitting there, I was heated at this point because with me being a Virgo, number one, you didn't have to do it like that. Like, you could have just told me what it was, because me, again, being a Virgo, I want to get all my shit. Like, I done been at this company for so long, I have acquired so much stuff on my desk. Like, this is my desk. I don't care how many times around that center they move me, my stuff moved with me. And I'm talking about my chair. I had a little carpet under my desk, my own trash can with my name on it. Like, I want all my stuff. So I go in there and the guy's like, yeah, so, you know, we have a record of you doing call avoidance for this many months. Baby, how? Y'all got this many months of call avoidance and y'all just not bringing it to me now? Like, for real? Mind you, it wasn't just me that got fired for this same call avoidance. It was like me and 5 other people. And all these other people, except like maybe one, everybody, they was ready to quit, or they was about to quit. Like, I was waiting till March. Now, this was in November. So, December, January, February, March. I still had 4 more months to go with this job. But all these other people, they was like, oh, bitch, I was quitting on Friday, or I was quitting this day. Oh, this week was my last week. Today was my last day. One guy, he was quitting that same day. He didn't even come in. He did a no-call, no-show. They had to call him at home and let him know that he was terminating. He was like, oh, okay, like, I had quit. Y'all didn't notice I haven't came in. Like, so a lot of people that were tenured agents, those of us who had been there for like a year or more, again, outside of one person, we was all getting ready to quit. And that one person, she was a team lead. Like, so, yeah, we know she wasn't finna quit. Like, she was kind of, I ain't gonna say no goody two-shoes, but she just let that little power get to her head, child. But nevertheless, that's the story of how I got fired. That is how I was at work. Somebody who I thought in upper management I was cool with tricked me. I'm gonna say that. They tricked me. You finessed me because you told me I was going to training. So naturally, I didn't take none of my stuff. And then let me tell y'all, I told them, I was like, well, no, show me proof. They couldn't show me proof, or they didn't want to show me proof. So the little white lady, I'm going to say it, little HR lady, she was like, we don't have to show you anything. And I told her, baby, you might want to watch your tone because I'm already fired. Like, do you think I mind catching the case? And then one of my supervisors, I wanted my one with her. And when I say I wanted my one, I wanted to fight her. Baby, when I found out she was pregnant, I was so upset because I wanted to beat that bitch ass. Do you hear me? I was so mad she was pregnant. Like, damn, I'm fired and still can't whoop her ass. Shit. So, yeah, that's the story of how I got fired. Left out the office. All my stuff was in, like, the next office over. I called my wife before they even got done talking to me. So I really don't even know everything that was said to me because I called my wife. Well, I texted her first and she was like, huh? And then I called her and she was like, shit, get your shit and go. Like, fuck them. Like, because again, we already had a game plan. I was already going to quit anyway. So, yeah, stay tuned for these stories and more.
Bitch, let me see you shake that ass.